Hey guys, welcome back to Vertical Momentum. I'm your host, Richard Kaufman, also known as the Comeback Coach. Guys, this episode is going to be amazing. We're going to hit it hard and heavy for about 30 minutes. We're going to be talking sales, 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 and then also maybe throwing a little fitness and a little bit health in there. My brother Simon, now I normally remember all this stuff, but he does so much stuff. I had to write it all down. So he's a mentor, investor, advisor, coach, CEO, podcast host, TEDx speaker, and a triathlete. There's nothing that he doesn't do, but the best thing about him, and my favorite part, is he's a father to three beautiful children, and he puts his family above everything else. So, Simon, my brother, welcome to the show.
Richard, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
I love it. So, first question is, because I know, growing up where we grew up, that we've all went through some challenges. So, what is your definition of resiliency?
Life is hard. Life is suffering, say the Buddhist, and I think we all feel that, right? So, if life is suffering, what is resilience? Resilience is still showing up and finding the joy in it. Right now, if your house is burning, what is resilience? It is showing up. It is not giving up, and to find the little moments of joy that the firefighters are actually giving their best and are well organized, that your community is coming together and has WhatsApp groups, that you have wisdom and superpower in your community that you can start tapping into. And now you're building maybe even better communities, and maybe you're even learning on how to better prepare a city for these eventualities. So there is joy in every moment, that there is beauty in every moment. That's resilience. These are hard examples. Life is not all the time hard. I mean, entrepreneurship is hard, but it's normal hard. It's not super hard all the time, but it's normal hard. And so resilience as an entrepreneur, when you're starting a business or when you're running a business, is to actually learn to do mistakes all the time. For example, in our community, the Sprint Club, every Friday, people get asked, what were your best mistakes of this week? And they have to give gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal to their mistakes. So, Simon, my bronze medal mistake is I forgot to call back my kids. And so they couldn't tell me that they just won a championship. So my learning is I will prioritize calling back my kids, whatever happens. And so this is examples of how you create a culture of learning from mistakes, because you do stuff, you break stuff. It's normal. And resilience is, can you embrace the journey? This is where I am. This is what I got. How can I do the best with this?
And I love it. And I agree 100% with everything you just said. So, what is it? Because you said you helped 14 people in LA. What is it like in LA right now at this moment?
Well, many friends, clients are evacuated. 3 of them lost their house forever. It's burnt. And the evacuated ones, they created a WhatsApp group. They're connecting to each other. They are in our app. We have an app called Sprint Club, and they're connected to other countries. They are just venting, talking to each other, trying to make sense of this. Should I blame my government? Is it somebody's fault? That's one conversation that's going on. The other one is, okay, whatever. What can we do? So first, you freeze in these situations. The second is, okay, what can I do? Some of them have started a petition to devote who is responsible and who is in charge. They want to have better leadership. And so they started a petition, and starting that petition alone, independently, if you find it, right or wrong, is being in charge. And being in charge is what you need. So that's part of resilience, is being in control again. Okay, at least I can be in control of starting a list, right? So they're starting these petitions. A third thing that they are also discussing is, okay, how do I rebuild? How can I now empower even more my employees? How can I bring in some freelancers to help quickly still run the business while I'm out for a few weeks now? But I want the business still to run. So what can I systemize? What can I automate? What can I delegate? How can I quickly create partnerships with other people? Maybe I give you my clients for a month, and when I'm back, you give me your clients. So that's strategic partnerships. These are the kind of things that we are discussing with them online. I'm here in Vienna, but it works on their phone because the app is on the App Store, on the Google Store, and so they download the app. We have immediate real-time communication.
Okay, so now I live in New Jersey. Literally, if I go stand on my front porch, I could see where the Twin Towers once stood, and I know that resiliency is sometimes when you go through challenges, opportunities become, and obviously now with these fires, they're going to have to rebuild. So I'm sure there's also going to be people out there that are business people that are thinking this is going to be an opportunity to help my community, but also to help build a business. Because like for me, once COVID happened, that's when I just started to start a podcast because I figured everybody's home, nothing else to do. They're going to be on their phone. So I might as well start a podcast. And now we're like one of the biggest podcasts in the world. So don't you think that sometimes through tragedies, we can also have triumphs?
That's beautiful. Exactly. Right. You get lemons, you make lemonade. You're the best example of that. That's wonderful.
So then, okay, so I believe like when my father passed away, we talked about him earlier. So he grew up in Palermo. When he passed away a couple years ago, I had to take a extended vacation, not a vacation, but to take care of my mom. And because I had evergreen products, books, T-shirts, hats, coffee, I was making money the whole time, even though I wasn't working because I had that little phone, like you said. So do you think this is going to help a lot more people thinking, hey, maybe next time when I build my business, I should have some evergreen products on there also, instead of just having a brick and mortar?
Yes, we are learning. We are all learning, right? And what many are doing right now is whatever their business is, they are adding additional digital products to that business. So for example, if you're a teacher, now you're creating also some little online courses. If you are a trainer, you're creating also some masterclasses and modules. If you are financial advisor, you're also creating some little playbooks, guides, like a guide on how to optimize your tax situation, right? Can be a little digital product that you can choose to give away for free, but then you're creating marketing and filling your pipeline, which is also a great idea. Or you can even charge, because if that guide is actually helpful in, let's say, reducing your tax that you're paying by $400, then why not charge 1/10 of that and say, okay, it costs you $40 to buy this guide. I think that's a great digital product. If it creates 10 times the value that it costs, it's a great digital product. Now, if you get sick or cannot work for a month, that thing is still working, right? That funnel is still working.
And and I think it's amazing that even 5 years ago, me living in the United States and you in Italy, we wouldn't be able to do this, what we're doing right now. We wouldn't be able to talk. We wouldn't be able to have conversations. So I think that, I'll be 56 at the end of the month, and I'm just starting to get into tech. But I think a lot of people that are my age or older, they're not as tech savvy. And I think they really need to start getting tech savvy, especially after something like this happens, because a lot of people, you can't get to a bank if it burned down. But I think if you have your apps downloaded, you're able to do a lot more if you could just get to a hotspot, or if you could just get to an internet. So do you think it's important for everybody to start getting a little bit more tech savvy?
Yes, there is a minimum required that makes life easier, right? Even my parents are asking me, hey, Simon, how do I use this new technology? Yes, there is a minimum that makes our life easier, right? And we personally, we are in front of all technologies because we love it. You can do things so much easier. It can take stuff from you. Like, I don't want to look up information. I want to get information, and technology can do that. I want to talk with the other side of the planet without having to fly 9 hours there, solved with technology. So that if it makes my life easy, yeah, I'm on it.
So now, for these people that are living in LA and lost their everything, because I've actually had to start over a couple times because of my own stupidity. But these people, a lot of them, they just they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they have to start their life over again. So for these people that have lost their businesses and their houses, how do you go about starting over again?
Yeah, many listeners are starting over, right? They're starting something from scratch. So let's go bit by bit. If I would lose everything and I would start from zero, maybe with $10 in my pocket, how would I start a business? And in the book Strategy Sprints, we actually have a chapter about that. About the order of things, what to do first, second, third, etc. So people can grab it on Amazon. It's called Strategy Sprints. The first important thing is to ask, who is it for and what is it for? So you think about the ideal client, you define them 5 levels deep. So for example, I'm here to serve women. Okay. So you have excluded men. That's great. Now exclude 4 more things. So women who live in a city or a rural area, pick that. Are they above 40 or below 40? Pick that. Are they using an iPhone or an Android phone? Pick that. That's 4 levels deep. Now you go 5 levels deep. Do they have children or not? That would be defining who you're here to serve, 5 levels deep. So that's the first exercise to do, because now whatever you say, whatever you write, an email, you create a video, now that's actually targeted. The opposite is writing a love letter to whoever it may concern. That's not a great love letter. So now you're talking to actually somebody. Hey, I see you. I see where you are, what you need. Let's talk. So the first thing, write down 5 levels deep your ideal client profile. The second thing is, where can you bring them? And this is an exercise that we do in the Sprint Club. And the exercise is, what is coming for them in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? And how can you help them be ready for what's coming? So let's say technology is moving forward and they have to digitize in their industry. How can you help them digitize? Now you're making sure that you have something relevant and timely and valuable just by doing these 2 things. And now you didn't do anything else. You didn't build a website, nothing. You didn't incorporate anything. You're just answering these 2 questions. That's the first thing that I would do. Then from there, go and get your first 5 clients, whatever they pay, even if it's for free, because now you want to actually solve those problems. Whatever works, you will save it. This will become one of your modules, one of your tools for the next clients. And you will ask all the 5 for a video testimonial. Tell me, why did you work with me? What was the problem? What was your hesitation in the beginning? What happened? What was the outcome? Who should do this and why? Now you get this 2 minutes video. And now for the first time, you start building a website and a LinkedIn profile. And the first 5 things that you put on there are those 5 testimonials.
I'm writing this stuff down. That's why I'm making sure that I get everything.
Yes. The next thing that you want to have is 100 Google reviews. So those 5, they will be your first 5 Google reviews. And then now you're working towards 100 Google reviews. When you got 100 Google reviews, now you double your price. And this is where people say, what? Doubling? That's too much. No, it's not. Because now you have a mature product. You're solving problems. You have people who are referring you other people. It's fine. It's working. Now double your revenue, double the price, which will double your revenue. And with that cash flow, now you start for the first time spending your first dollar on marketing. Because now let's say you're making $35,000 now that you've doubled. So per month, you're making $35,000. This is the first day where you will start spending your first dollar on marketing. So far, we had zero costs. Zero. Maybe some software cost, but zero marketing costs, and also no employees, of course, yet, right? So now 35K per month. Now we switch to stage 2. We have something that works, and we have people who want it and pull it from us at 35K per month. Now we go to stage 2. Now it's time to tell the world that we have something helpful. Still no paid ads, but now you will hire a freelancer and use some software to create more content, videos, stories about what you do. You will ask a ton of questions on social media. You will want to be on podcasts like Richard's podcast, like other podcasts, and go there. And because now you have something to say, now you have something to share. That's helpful. So you share your expertise. In the last 5 minutes of the podcast, you tell people where to download something about this or how to get in touch with you. Now you're starting to build a marketing funnel that feeds a sales funnel. Because now, a week later, you wake up in the morning and you have some people on your calendar. Who is this person? Well, that's somebody who listened to that podcast a week ago and then booked themselves on your calendar. Now you have a sales process.
Okay, but something that I love that you said is make sure you have a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
That's where I do most of my damage. I think we have almost 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. But I got 3 kids. My 18 and 22-year-old, as soon as they turn 18, I made sure they started a LinkedIn profile to make sure that they're building, they're creating, building networks. So talk about the power of LinkedIn.
I think community is the new marketing. And so wherever you can build community, please do it. The first community is the people that you serve every day. Can you connect them? Probably. What's the easiest way? LinkedIn and email. You say, hey, George, meet Sarah. You have complementary superpowers and you might help each other. So connect them. And LinkedIn is great because you can share your journey. I like to build in public. Don't talk about you. Nobody cares about you. Talk about your mistakes of that week, your learnings of that week, what you're experiencing, what's your journey from A to B, and what can go wrong. People love a good story. Oh, I'm here. I have $20,000. I want to get to a 100K portfolio, and I'm trying options strategy. Are you interested in seeing if I get there? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be an amazing post to get people to subscribe to a YouTube channel about investing. Why? Because it's about a journey, right? It can go wrong, it can go right. It's like a Netflix episode. Oh my God, will he get there? Or will he lose all his 20K? So it's interesting. And it's real. So it's not an expert that is already a billionaire. No, it's relatable. They have 20K. So it's relatable. Like, will he get there? Will he blow it up? It's interesting, actually. And I can relate to it. And whatever he does, I can replicate if it works. So that's a good post. It's real and it's sharing your journey from A to B. You are vulnerable. It can go wrong. You are not the distant, perfect expert. Nobody needs that. It's real. It's relatable. You are on a journey. You are inviting others to be part of the journey if it's relevant for them.
I love that. And for me, people know whether I'm on camera or I'm off camera, it's always me. I'm always going to be me. If I ever see you, you're getting a big hug. I'm always going to be me. But something I learned yesterday that I didn't know, that you can go to Amazon stores in the United States. They give classes. I actually sat in on a class yesterday about how to use the new iPhone 16, the new cameras, and how you can make videos with iMovie for free. And they gave it like a 2-hour class just on how to do that stuff. So it doesn't cost a lot of money to learn how to do certain things. It might just take a little bit of time, or like you said, maybe go on YouTube and watch a couple videos. You can learn pretty quick on some of the new stuff. You don't even have to buy high grade cameras like we used to have in the past, right?
Absolutely. I learn most of my stuff on YouTube.
And a lot of people don't realize that YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. Google's number 1, and Google owns YouTube. So if you're a business owner, you definitely need to get onto YouTube. So we know I told you we're going to be hitting it hard and heavy. Last question. I'm a veteran just getting out of the military. I want to get into business, but I don't know what to do. What would be your top 3 pieces of advice if I'm a brand guy getting out of the military, no business experience? What would be the top 3 things you'd recommend me to do?
First thing, we call it ikigai, is finding the intersection between what interests you and what people around you need. A few things interest you, but they are not relevant. The people around you don't need it right now. That will be your hobby. But then you will find one thing that interests you strongly and people around you need. Now you have found the sweet spot. You have found your topic. This is what to create content about over the next 12 months. We call them the 4 content pillars. So my content pillars are how to increase revenue, how to create multiple income streams, how to build wealth, and how to build a life that creates income. Those are the 4 things that I write about and that I create content every day. Why? Because I'm interested in them anyways. I have 3 kids, so I have to teach them anyways. I'm a human being, so I have to learn it anyways. So I'm always interested in those things. And my friends ask me these questions anyways. So I'm interested. And of all the things that I'm interested about, I'm also interested about triathlon, but nobody needs that. Nobody asks me about anything about that. So that's my intersect. How to create a life that generates an income and have multiple income streams working all the time. This is the intersection between my interests and what the people around me need. And people around me, can be in Norway, because this podcast reaches Norway and reaches Singapore as well. You don't have control. You can stop it at a country border. This goes everywhere. Yeah. And so you have probably access to much more people than you think. So when we say the people around me, it's actually a lot of people around you with the internet. And so what do they need? How can you help? And what is interesting enough for you so that you can keep doing that 10 years? Because the deeper you go, the more you will enjoy it. And the more you enjoy it, the deeper you go. And that's the loop of being a pro. Because now you are doing this since 3 years, every day the same thing. Now you are really, really good.
I love it. And I got to give a big shout out to Michelle Ortiz. Thank you for putting this together. Celsius Energy, thank you so much for keeping me updated and moving and grooving. But last couple questions, because we're going to get that 30-minute mark. Considering, doing a triathlon, there's most people I know that are successful in business, they take their health very seriously because they know that without health, there is no wealth. So how important is health to you and your life?
two things are very, very important. And if you rank all the things that you could do today, probably taking care of your health is the most important. Everybody knows it, but because it's so important, everybody avoids it. So, and especially two things like endurance and strength. So why is endurance so important? This is when you go for a brisk walk of an hour or a jog of an hour. Endurance is important because first it detoxes, so you get rid of the stress. And second, it gives you emotional confidence. I can endure stuff. So now if you burn my house, I know I can endure stuff. I will cry, but tomorrow I wake up and I know that I can endure stuff. I will ask for help. I can endure stuff. If you take away all my money, I know how to rebuild. I built it once. I will rebuild it. But I know that I can endure stuff. And how do I know? Well, because in the morning I was running for 60 minutes. That's 9 kilometers. And it was freezing cold and it was dark. It's not a funny thing to do. But it's a thing that if you do it and then you come back and then everybody's waking up, you go, I can do stuff. That's hard. That's cold. That's dark. So it's this little confidence, and that is emotionally important because during the day stuff will happen. Something will break, something will go wrong, somebody will get pissed. And so how do you stay cool and calm and confident? Well, only if you know that you can endure stuff. And this is where it comes from. The second piece, strength. I'm 44, so if I don't build muscles now in my 60s, I will have nothing to protect, to keep. In your 40s, you have to build them. In your 60s, you have to keep them. Otherwise, you can't bring the groceries anywhere. You can't stand up from the toilet seat. So you need muscles. And those muscles come from basic things like squats and deadlifts, etc. So basic strength is really important, even if maybe you find it boring. But boy, will you be glad in your 60s when you can stand up from any situation, right?
I agree. And after this, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go work out. Then I'm going to mange. But so how do we find you? How do we support your mission? And what was the name of your book again?
The book is called Strategy Sprints. It's on Amazon, Strategy Sprints by Simon Severino. You can find us on our website, strategysprints.com. And the cool thing is we have now an app which can help thousands of people on every budget. And in that app, you can get it on the Apple Store. It's called Strategy Sprints. Or if you're not using Apple, then desktop version, strategysprints.com/community. That community is affordable to everyone. And in there, I am teaching these things that we were talking about. Amazing teachers like Jay Abraham is teaching strategic partnerships and joint ventures. So the best teachers around building a business and building a life that generates income are in there and are giving very generously their tools, their tactics, their templates away. Plus, you can network and find amazing cool cats from around the globe. So Apple Store, Strategy Sprints.
I love it. And brother, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I know you got a lot going on, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out today.
Richard, thank you for doing this, for showing up with this consistency for your people, for your community, day in and day out.
I love it. And guys, as you know, I always end with, I'm a big Joel Osteen guy, and something he talks about is every morning we wake up, we can either be a victim of our past or a victor of our present and our future. And you guys always show up and you guys are victors. You're no longer victims. So guys, remember, vertical momentum, the only way to go is up. I love you guys. Simon, my brother, thank you so much. Go have some great food and have an amazing day.